Hello everyone, this is Ninja Girl Sakura here, back with another Yashahime Princess Half Demon review. This past weekend we got Season 2, Episode 23, Father and Daughter. And if I had to describe this episode in one word, it would be rushed. Yeah, it was just very weird, because the way they make this episode look, it's like it's meant to be the series finale, even though we know there's at least one more episode coming. But yeah, everything was just felt very rushed. Some things were resolved a little too quickly, in my opinion. But we still have some good stuff throughout the episode despite all that. So, yeah, but really, this episode felt very rushed. But anyway, let's go over everything that happened, shall we? So, like at the end of the last episode, we saw that Towa had her demonic energy taken from her by Osamu Kirin with the Zanseiken. She was nothing more than a normal human trying to dodge his attacks, and he had cornered her and was ready to stab her. So yeah, but luckily for her, Riku, who had been carried off in the last episode, came through the ceiling, goes back up, and surprisingly, he puts his hand on her throat and starts crying and saying how he only kills the ones he loves, but then he leans down, clearly whispering something to her. So, obviously, this is a ruse. He has some kind of plan, and he's just trying to tell her to play along for a moment. So, yeah. And right when he's about to go and stab Towa, he makes it look like he's going to stab Towa. Towa kicks Riku off of her, and Riku turns his sword on Osamu Kirin, ready to stab him. Unfortunately for Riku though, even though he gets a good hit in, Riku gets slashed across the chest, kinda like Setsuna was in Season 1. So yeah. But then, Towa jumps in and slices his arm right where that symbol would appear when he was using his powers. So yeah, and then he turns pink into a pink energy and says, I guess I can't make Rion happy after all, and fades away. And that seems to be the end for Osamu Kirin. So, yeah. See what I mean by rushed a little bit there? Because you'd think this conflict with him would last a little bit longer. But, I digress. So yeah, and then Towa obviously goes to check on Riku and try to help him, but it is too late. And yeah, he just tells her that he was grateful for the time he got to spend with her, and does tell her that he loves her, before turning back into Kirinmaru's horn that he was to begin with. Which obviously devastates Towa, and she screams out his name. But, knowing there's still more to be done, they still have to save Rion. She stands up and goes to meet up with Moroha and Setsuna, who are still dealing with Rion's threads of fate that she's sending their way, attacking them with them. And Setsuna's doing a good job. She's pinpointing the right threads and either cutting them herself or telling Moroha where to cut. But eventually, Rion kind of corners them, and yeah, they almost get sliced by more threads of fate until Towa walks into the room shouting Rion's name. She stops, and then when Moroha and Setsuna ask about Osamu Kirin, Towa just shakes her head, acknowledging that he was dealt with. And then tries to reason with Rion, telling her that she didn't have to do all this, that she understands where she's coming from, that she still loves her father, that she really did not have to do all this. Rion, of course, denies it, is trying to just make them leave her alone. And we kind of get a little more backstory here with Rion and her father, more than we had before. So yeah. After every fight, when her father would come back victorious, she would always smile because she was proud of him, you know? But when he fought Toga, and he came back so badly injured, she did smile when he got back, but overall, she was just happy that he was alive and did not really want him to fight again. because she was scared of losing her father. So, after that, she vowed to never smile again. And then we know what happened after that. She eventually got killed by that half-demon and is where she is now. So, yeah. Then we see Sesshomaru and Kirinmaru fighting. And again, Sesshomaru is taunting Kirinmaru, telling him how he's acting like a human. And Kirinmaru's not understanding it. Not at all. He's just defiant, saying how he must be the strongest. That was what Rion wanted. And just will not let up. But as he is fighting Sesshomaru, he's looking over at Rin and seeing Rion in his head. And yeah, Sesshomaru just keeps taunting him, telling him he's not understanding. And yeah, eventually he does get the upper hand on Kirinmaru. And then Kirinmaru stops. Something having clicked in his head. The reason Sesshomaru was telling him he was acting like a human is because he was not taking responsibility for his daughter's death. He kept denying it. And Rion, by the way, had mentioned that she felt bad for not being stronger. You know, like her father. And that's why she was killed. She felt bad about that. Rion mentioned that as well. Almost forgot, but yeah. And Kirinmaru is now saying that he was acting human because he couldn't accept the fact that he was to blame for his death. And with that, he decides he's no longer going to hold back and powers himself up. You see him in his form that he took at the end of Season 1 of Yashahime. And he says, "Sorry about that, Sesshomaru. Now I'm not going to hold back," basically. And we see Kirinmaru's eyes glowing red, too, real quick. And Sesshomaru does the same thing. His eyes flash red. And he's like, "Now that is a worthy opponent." So yeah. And obviously they continue fighting. And Kirinmaru tries to send a huge blast right at Sesshomaru, but thankfully Sesshomaru is able to send it back. It's not the backlash wave. He does something with the Bakusaiga, but he sends it back. And Kirinmaru is sent straight to the ground. So, yeah. Seemingly defeated. And he tells Sesshomaru to finish him off. But he does not. He actually does not. And, yeah. Meanwhile, of course, everyone is still also dealing with the Grim Butterfly outside. Who is turning strange colors and, yeah. Being a pain, as usual. So, yeah. But, while that's going on, Rion apparently decides that she does at least want to see her father one more time, and opens up a portal into the Grim Butterfly, and sends out threads of fate, grab Kirinmaru from the battlefield. Interesting. So yeah, and Rin, Sesshomaru, Jaken, and Aun kind of follow as well. So yeah. And it's just, yeah, it's... What happens next is actually kind of sad. We see Kirinmaru in there, inside the Grim Butterfly, just lying there defeated. And Rion kind of having regained control. She actually had broken free from the orb she was sitting in while controlling the Grim Butterfly. She tries to go to her father, but cannot actually touch him. And of course, all the girls feel bad. Then things take a scary turn when Osamu Kirin comes back and mocks Rion, saying she won't be able to touch her father ever again in that body. And then basically sends Rion into a nightmare of the day she died. He surrounds her in this, I guess you would call it miasma or just demonic energy. And it like makes her see the day that she was killed. She sees the half-demon who killed her chasing her. But then Rion sends threads of fate out that Towa, Setsuna, and Moroha can take a hold of so they can see what she sees. However, when they do, they can't move. They can't move. So, what Towa tries to do with the Senseiken, she keeps trying to tell her, of course, to fight back. And even Kirinmaru is in the background saying, fight back, Rion. But because Towa can't really move in this nightmare, she tells Rion to fight back and be strong. And yeah, Rion actually does listen and is able to summon a Zensaiken of her own. And said that she wants to be strong like her father. And stops running away. And turns around and slashes the half-demon who killed her in this weird nightmare. She slices him. And that finally does get rid of Osamu Kirin. So yeah, she was able to overcome her fear and show how strong she could be. Which was pretty cool. I do like that, I guess. So, yeah. But since Towa she was also using this Zensaiken trying to suck up the energy from Osamu Kirin. That's what she was doing. I forgot that actually. Real quick. Yeah, she was using the Zensaiken to try and get rid of the demonic energy that Osamu Kirin had covered Rion with, sending her into that nightmare. But yeah, since she did that, what do you think has happened? Towa's Kallen is gone and she is dead on the floor, basically. And that's when Sesshomaru, Rin, and Jaken and everyone else arrives. And Jaken asks about Akaru, who they had to, Moroha and Setsuna had to explain is gone. So, her Kallen can't be restored by him anymore. And it looks like Towa's not coming back. But we hear her voice tell Rion that she wants her to use her body to go and say goodbye to her father, who is laying there basically dying from the blast that he took from Sesshomaru. So, yeah. And she does, kind of reluctantly, but she does. She does feel bad about everything. But Rion does take the chance and goes to her father, able to hold his hand. And he apologizes for trying to control her even after she's already gone. And yeah, it's just a really touching moment of them finally understanding each other, that Rion never cared about him being the strongest. She just wanted him to come back from battle alive and not end up dead. She just wanted her father. Which was very, very sweet. And they both agree that it's time they both go and be with Zero. Or Rion says, let's go be with Aunt Zero. And peacefully, Kirinmaru also agrees. And the Zensaiken and his sword actually become one. And they thank everyone for everything they did. Kirinmaru even apologizes. Yeah. It's actually quite nice. And Rion agrees that as part of her thanks, she will give Towa her body back. So, Towa's back. So, yeah, you see what I mean by rushed? Things being resolved too easily. So, yeah. But, Towa's back alive. Moroha and Setsuna give her a big hug. Yeah. And that's it for Kirinmaru and Rion and Grim Butterfly. The Grim Butterfly fades away. The sun comes out, and everything seems super nice. We see the families together. Rin finally gets to hug Towa and Setsuna like she'd wanted for so long. Sesshomaru doesn't join in the hug, but that's to be expected. Sesshomaru's not the touchy-feely type. So yeah. And Jaken asks why he spared Kirinmaru. He asked this to Sesshomaru, and he's like, because my daughter's hearts wouldn't have been saved if I had done that. So yeah. It was really cute. And then Rin calls over to him, and I guess he kind of actually smiles at this. And then we see Moroha, Kagome, and Inuyasha in this cute shot you're seeing right here on screen. And I love it. I love it so much. They are the cutest family. I love them. I love them so dang much. And yeah, the credits roll and that is where it ends. So yeah. It feels like this was meant to be a series finale, because everything with Kirinmaru is wrapped up. Rion is wrapped up. The Grim Butterfly thing is all wrapped up. Oh! I can't forget to mention we see Sango and Miroku with their children as well. We can't forget them. Sorry. But yeah, as I was saying, everything seems to be all wrapped up, so I don't know where they're gonna go from here. I really have no clue. But, yeah. Despite being rushed, we did have some good stuff in there. We did, so I didn't hate it. I just didn't love this episode. So, yeah. Now, next episode, because there apparently is at least going to be one more, it looks like it's going to be something I'm going to love, because it's Inuyasha, Kagome, and Moroha. And apparently they're going to do some kind of demon slaying, bounty hunting mission, I'm going to guess. I don't know. We won't know till the episode airs. But, yeah. It looks like it's going to be really, really fun. So, very much looking forward to it. Hey, I'm all for more Kagome, Inuyasha, and Moroha before the series ends, maybe. Who knows? There might be a season 3. I just don't know what they would do with it. We shall see. But, yeah. I'm nonetheless looking forward to it. Still gonna enjoy what's left of it if this is going to be the end. We don't know that for a fact yet, but yeah. I won't ramble on anymore though. I think that will do it for this review. Like I said, rushed, but has some good stuff. So yeah. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like and share it around if you want. If you want to follow me on Twitter, where I do sometimes talk about Yashahime, that link will be in the video description below, and the link to my Patreon will be there as well if you want to support the channel in that way. I would be forever grateful if you did. So, yeah. And let's just continue to enjoy Yashahime while it lasts. I know it's not perfect. Far from it. But we still have some good stuff in there. So let's try to enjoy that over some of the bad stuff that people haven't liked. I know the writing is flawed. I know. But I look more to the good than the bad. So yeah. And until episode 24 of season 2 with more Inuyasha Kagome Moroha, I will see you guys next time.